How's everybody doing? Welcome to Big Eats for Big Peeps. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. Instead of doing the really low-cal kind of a recipe that I usually put out, I am putting out one that's, excuse me, more high protein, definitely a cheat meal kind of a day. So we are making bacon cheeseburger lumpias. All right, so what we're going to get started with is we're going to get the good beef. We got the 93.7 on that, so we got the least amount of calories and fat as possible. You could easily use turkey, chicken, anything else. I wanted to go with an actual burger taste, so I went ahead with the beef. I'm going to use up the last I have of this bacon crumble that I have. Then we got some reduced fat cheddar cheese that we're going to use. And then for seasonings, lately my favorite has been this, and just like Frank's Red Hot, I've been putting this shit in everything. To add a little bit more of the cheese flavor, we're going to add some nacho cheese. Typically this is your popcorn flavoring, but we're going to put it in there. And then obviously I've got a big old bag full of lumpia wrappers that we are going to wrap these all up. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first what we're going to do is we got the cast iron getting a little bit hot right now. We're going to go ahead and take our meat, drop it in there, and cook that off real quick. All right, we'll get back to this once we are done cooking it all off. All right, as you can see, I've cooked down the meat pretty well on here, and with only the little bit of fat that's in here, the 3%, there's not a whole lot of grease, if any. Well, there's probably still some in there. So we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings in here real quick. So I'm going to start with our garlic herb seasoning. And you know, I don't actually measure my seasonings. I just kind of go until I think it's okay. A little bit of there. And then we're going to take this is going to be our nacho cheddar cheese. That looks really good. And then we're going to take the 100 grams of our bacon. Go ahead and get that in there. We're slowly going to stir everything in so everything's all nicely incorporated. And then after getting this all mixed in together, we're going to let it sit down and cool off a little bit. And then we will then I'll add the cheese and then we will start wrapping. So let me get this mixed up and then we'll get cheese in there. All right, after draining the meat and letting it cool off a little bit, I'm going to add in the entire bag of the reduced fat sharp cheddar cheese. Let's go ahead and put that in there. And then we'll give it a good mix. Now when I make these, I shoot for making anywhere between 8 and 10, depending on how good of a lumpia egg roll wrapper you are. You may or may not get this many, so it's all up to how you do that. So go ahead and take one of our wrappers. And try to get this off. I like these ones that have each one individually wrapped. They seem to come out a little bit easier. All right, let's get a good heaping spoon. Put it right down there in the middle. Just a little bit more. All right. Then we'll proceed to attempt to roll this. Now, I will admit I am not the greatest when it comes to wrapping this, a tortilla, or anything like that in general. So one thing I didn't do was get a little water. We'll just get that later. Roll it over, and there you have it. So there is one, and I'll just go ahead and seal this with a little bit of water here in a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap the rest of these. All right, so as you can see, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then there's actually a 10th one off to the side because, well, it looks like this, and I pretty much can't cook that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, before I get started with that, I'm going to hit my pan with some Pan nonstick. I'm going to spread these out. Let me go better this way. 3. Now I know typically you would deep fry these, but again, we are trying to do it the low-cal version, so we are going to deep fry them. So then once I get those on there with the pan at the bottom, I'm also going to hit the top of it with a little more pan. That helps them crisp up. I'm going to put them in the oven. It's at about 400 degrees, and I'm going to check them at about 10 minutes and see how they're doing. And then if need be, I can pull them out or I'll flip them. So I'll show you what they look like afterwards. So this is what they look like after about 10 minutes in the oven. So I'm going to give all of these a quick flip. As you can see, obviously they're a little bit more brown on the bottom side, which is to be expected. This one actually broke apart a little bit. That's not going to go over. Alright, so as you can see, we can flip them. I'm probably going to put them in for about another 7-8 minutes and see what happens. Hey, what's up? So I'm going to show you how these Lumpia bacon cheeseburgers turned out. Let me get one. So this one is about as close as it gets to being, you know, that brown, crispy look that it gets when you deep fry it, or if you use like an air fryer or anything like that. I just straight up baked all these. And so look, they still came out looking pretty good. And then, I'm not sure if you guys can still hear it, but they still sound and crunch just like if it was a regular Lumpia. So there you go, there's the inside with the cheese, the bacon, and the hamburger. So we're going to take this apart. And on the first one, so obviously we've got our bacon cheeseburger Lumpia. We're going to take a little bit of ketchup, put that on there. And minus not having like a bun or anything like that, it tastes just like any other cheeseburger thing that you would eat. Now, personally, what I like to use is this honey bacon mustard. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. This stuff is so good, and it's got like 1 calorie per serving, so you can pretty much use it as much as you want, and you're not going to get it. So cheers to this one. That's still really good. So I'm going to go back to finishing all these, and I'll put the macros at the end of the video. Thank you very much.